Greetings, my dudes. Welcome back to another little video here. And today we are gonna try something a little new and also something I could rant about forever. And of course that is retro video game collecting, but not specifically just that. Let's go a little bit deeper than that and go into Holy Grail unicorn style games or anything gaming nerdy related that you would or I would want to get no matter what. Might it be for many reasons? Could it be something from your childhood, something you missed out on, something that is just super well and offensive or limited that you never got a chance to get your hands on, but you constantly looking for. And today we are going to discuss one of that was for me. Since I have a few unicorns, and for the most part I have actually collected all of them at that point outside of one or two little games. But with that being said, we are going to be talking about a game that I am right now streaming over on twitch.tv/PonyShow. Links below if you're interested in seeing my playthrough of it. And yeah, I've been revisiting a series of games I always wanted to own, and growing up I only got some of them, which we will get to. But the game series I am talking about is called the original Dot.hack trilogy here, with, of course, episode 1, what is it? Infectation? Luna, stop it. Episode 2, a mutation. Episode 3, outbreak. And number 4, quarantine, over on the PS2. So for anyone who's not aware about what the games are, they are pretty much MMO simulators that came out in roughly 2002-ish, 2001-ish on the PS2. And what made this so special outside of just imitating MMOs of the time period, such as EverQuest, is of course, the series was way more than just a video game. There was anime, mangas, toys, the whole 9 yards here. But you might be thinking, like, yeah, of course, a Japanese game, what's so surprising about this? What is surprising is how this series took all the outlets and built one universe that were all connected and overlapped with each other, which in return could sound pretty outrageous without you keep track of the Marvel universe, but actually done really, really well of how little things it connects and the aha moments if something brought up and you happen to read a manga or see an episode of the anime. Luna, stop it. But with that being said, we're going to be talking about the games itself though. The games, why it was a unicorn for me for so long is a matter of like a couple things. First of all, when the games originally were coming out, some of you might be old enough to remember, at least hopefully this wasn't just in my circles of friends back in the early 2000s. But as far as RPG fans were concerned, at least the people I was around, was very much drawn between the idea of buying Dot.hack or Xenosaga Saga for the PS2. Which both of these series were coming out at the same time, and they both did a similar thing of releasing multiple games in a very short time period to be one true line throughout. And most of my friends draw a line in the sand, and then some of them just like, no, I'm just gonna go play Final Fantasy X, which also happened. I was in the camp of I sided with Dot.hack mainly because at that time EverQuest was such a big thing, and so was some other MMOs around that time period as well. And as a 13, 14-year-old, pretty much all I wanted to do was play the types of games because I loved RPGs. I loved the whole idea of internet at the time, since internet was a fairly new thing in the early 2000s, reasonably a new thing, I guess you could say. And I wanted to play the game so much, but I never got to, because sadly, I didn't get a PC to late 2004 or late 2005. So in return, I never got into like PC gaming. I never had a chance to actually play EverQuest in its heyday. But that didn't really matter, I guess, at the end of the day, because a little game that came out on the PS2 by the name of Final Fantasy XI kind of rectified any of my love for that type of MMO type of game of that time period. There, we're almost there. It's gonna suck if I die. Oh shit. No! Just literally right there! Right there with Juno! Shit. But before all that, my love for Dot.hack began from me just like, oh my god, imitating MMOs, imitating this, that, and everything else that was fairly common at the time. And I had the opinion of, okay, if I can't play EverQuest, I want to play whatever I can that is similar to it. And that it will Dot.hack came in with the game very much mimicking that time period, and we playing it now. It especially like eye-opening to see how accurate of an imitation that was of MMOs of that time period, with the whole having your emails, having like news posts, having method boards, having the game itself, and how everything go into detail into building that universe, which we will cover in our timeline video, which will be out soon-ish, I guess. But as far as the games are concerned though, what made them such a unicorn for me other than that was I ended up getting part 1 and part 2 when they came out. The thing was, I could only get a new game once a month. Once a month, me and my family would travel about an hour and a half across state line, because we kind of lived in a very small town that literally had a grocery store and a Subway, and that was it. It was one of them small little towns of like less than 500 people. So in return, anytime we needed to go get actual like max quantity of food or to go buy like gaming stuff, it was a whole ordeal to travel across state lines to go do this. So because of this, I only could get one new game every month. If I were lucky, maybe 2, one for me and one for my brother, if we were lucky. And because of that, I think that was one of the main reasons why I missed out on some of the Dot.hack games. And also another reason is, as some of you might have seen if you look any of the games up on eBay, especially part 3 through 4, you would know the games are very, very expensive. So in return, kind of feel like they might have been a little bit of a low point one. Well, part 1 is fairly common, which you can get for like at the time of that video anywhere from like 13 to like 20 bucks, and then they just very quickly go up from there. So because of that, I bought part 1 and part 2 when it came out. Part 3 I never saw, because I don't know if the low point was literally that so low that only like the Sam Goody own cues of, the what became before GameStop, any had more than like 1 or 2 copies. I do not know, but I never seen part 3. And then we get into part 4 when that came out, and I ended up buying it. And the thing is about these series, since these series of games are pretty much, I get the way to think of them like disc 1, disc 2, disc 3 type of deal. It pretty much take Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9 and just like sell each disc separate. That is pretty much what they did here. In the same degree of being able to have your save data carry over from one game into the next. But because of that, I never played 3, and then I bought 4. I played it for a bit, but at the time I couldn't use my character. So my character was horribly under level. They didn't give you the items needed to pretty much continue with the plot easily, and it was just a headache. So I'm like, nah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna try to get part 3 eventually. Hopefully, when my friends buy it, something of that. Fast forward like a few weeks later, why I was at school, my mother, grandmother got in my room, took all my Dot.hack games, and went and sold them. It was a very common thing, which I might go into detail on another video at some point, but a very common thing where I would get games, and then without my permission, they would just randomly sell them so they could go out and get fat food or something at the moment, which in return, why I was at school, so I didn't get any of it. So they sold my Dot.hack up, which in return was very heartbreaking at the time, because like I said, I love Dot.hack. I was trying to play all of these, and then a few years start passing, and the games get super expensive. So, fast forward probably like a good 5 to 10 years, I started pretty much becoming a game collector, started buying all the stuff from my past, and started trying to recoup everything that either I lost, got stolen, or my family sold without my permission. I stumbled across Dot.hack 1 and 2. I buy them, it was fine. I think at the time it was like 15 bucks, and then like 25, 30 bucks for part 1 and 2. So like altogether like 40 bucks. 40, 50 bucks for them. I'm like, fine, that all fine dandy. Knowing that part 3 and 4 is super well, and in return, really kind of also eating away at me at that point of just realizing, like, they sold part 4 when I was younger probably got like $2 for it, and now it easily worth like 150 to $200. So, you know, that thought kicking in of like regret on that end, any of it was out of my hands. I really wanted to complete the set at some point, and it was one of them cases of I wanted to, I wasn't expecting to, but you know, it was one of them things that always in the back of my head of like, if I see these and I had the money, I'm buying them without question. So what ended up happening of how I got my hands on part 3 and 4 was I went to a local mom and pop shop here in town, and I was chatting up the owner of the shop, asking like, hey, do you use CD games that often? If you ever see them, can you, send me a method? I will buy them, so on and so on. So we leave the store at that time, me and my girlfriend Sam, we were leaving, and we were like, let's just go get, I believe, like a pizza at a pizza place that like right next door to a somewhat chain of gaming store called Game Exchange. So we went there, got the food because we was out, why not? And we had to wait for the pizza. So I walked into the gaming store, and literally they just got the game turned into them no more than a couple hours before I showed up, a part 3 and 4. And when I got there, I saw them, and I picked them up and like, wow, what are the odds? Literally just at a gaming store talking about this stuff, that they would be here. And then I started looking at them, and I realized the store obviously didn't know what they had, or the owner or the employee at the time just didn't care, which happened a lot at that place. Well, they ended up marking part 3 for, I want to say, like $40. And then part 4, they had it for, I want to say, like 60 or 70 at the time. And it was still when the game was like up into the hundreds, if not multiples hundreds. So pretty much at that moment, my heart literally just dropped once I saw the price. Because I went from like, oh good, they have them, great, yay, this is ironic. I'm gonna buy these if I can. And then realized they was like easily probably 150, 200 bucks, like less than market value at the time. It was one of them moments of like, I was holding on to them thing tight till I could get them paid for and get out of that door and, get the pizza, of course. So, in return, I finally got my full collection back, and probably altogether, like, I will probably out, I would say probably like 180 getting the game back, which, like I said, literally part 4 alone is anywhere from like 150 to like 200. And I have seen people on eBay and other places selling the full set for like 500. So that was like my one true unicorn from my past, other than the one we mentioned earlier one day. But that is how I got my copy of Dot.hack, and how I literally almost had a heart attack right then and there. So with that, hopefully you enjoy my fourth little escapade into Holy Grail Gaming, and show you how I got some of my super collectible or super mini games or items in my life. And hopefully you will share some of your story below as well, because I'd be interested to know, what are your Holy Grail, and have you got it? And if you have, how did you get it? Let me know in the comment below. And once again, if you want to see my playthrough of the Dot.hack games, come on over to twitch.tv/PonyShow Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, where I am streaming the games to completion. And also keep an eye out for my future breakdown of everything Dot.hack coming up very, very soon by a very low margin of people requesting it over on Twitch, and also patreon.com/Pony. Let me know in the comment, let me know everywhere else, and I will catch you all in the next video. So till then, see you in the comment, guys. Yeah.
Using your strength,
Yep.
Mr.
You know something? He wasn't kidding. I did lose my strength. We truly did lose our strength.